Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Newton, Iowa for tonight's My Cricut Makes Truck Series presented by the OG Racing League. 100 laps here at Iowa. Put on a show here under the lights at this relatively new facility. Opened up in 2006, just shy of 9/10 of a mile. D-shaped oval, 7/8 of a mile for talking fractions. Kind of patterned after Richmond Raceway, just a little bit bigger, a little bit more banking, a little bit more speed. We've seen the Xfinity Series, IndyCar. Tonight, we'll see the My Cricut Truck Series take on this facility. 50% fuel, 3 sets of tires over the pit wall, and 1 fast repair. All they'll have to work with this evening. Practice just about wrapped up here. Go down and see where everybody stacks up amongst everyone else. Steve Requino first on the board, followed by a very close number 66, Cody Harder. I think this may be his first Truck Series race within the OG Racing League. Been running the Modified Series. He's got a win there last night. Also been running, I think, a little bit of the Short Track Series that they have. It's not broadcasted. That's all right. Third quick, David Wright. Alfie Charon is in the 4th spot. Good battle last night between Alfie Charon and the 66 of Harder in the Modified Series at Oxford Plains. 5th quick is the 65 of Dustin Painter. See Michael Joy in the 6th, Derek Cook. The Brit himself, Mark Thomas in the 8th position, Dan Murphy Jr., Bill Voracek, your top 10. Should be a good one here tonight from Iowa. The league put up an extra long practice session leading into tonight's event. Usually only get 1 hour. Tonight it was 2. See if that helps these guys out. It's kind of a short track, kind of a speedway. It's kind of like a mixture of the two. Richmond for sure is a short track, but Iowa being bigger, it's certainly faster. Guys are cracking almost 160 mile an hour in the speed trap. So Steve Requino losing off turn number 2 there. About 30 seconds left in the session. We'll get into qualifying here in just a moment. Set the field for tonight's My Cricut Makes Truck Series race at Iowa Speedway. It's round number 2 of the playoffs. looks like we're going to have... Who's out there first? Bill Voracek, possibly. Yep, he's going to roll off to pit lane here to start his qualifying attempt. So Voracek into 3 and 4 here to complete lap number 1 of his qualifying attempt here. Let's see what kind of time he puts up on the board. Lap 1 for Voracek, a 23.702. Provisional pole so far. Let's watch Dustin Painter here. Meanwhile, Cody Harger has gone to second quick on the tower here, 0.3 off of P1. Dropped down to third now with the 75 of James Kerr clocking in. Painter off for a little slippery. Still a good lap, second quick, just 0.5 off pole. Cody Harger, though, lap number 2, much quicker, 23.413. Provisional pole sitter. The 66 Plasmine Technologies machine on the provisional pole. Only got 8 trucks in the book so far, now make it 9. Mike LaJoie out there, lap 1 at 23.604, good enough for 5th. He's got one more ride around Iowa Speedway. Lap 2 for the 29s, a bit quicker, 23.45, second row, third fast for Mike LaJoie. Got the number 2 torch out there. Flying off turn number 2. Lap 1 for the number 2 machine, 23.91. Everybody seems to be picking up on their second lap. Let's see if Brian can pick up the pace just a bit, move that machine into the top 10. Second lap for the number 2, 23.617. Puts him 10th fast on the board. Alfie Charon's out there down the backstretch into 3. I think he has not started his first lap yet. This will be coming to the green. A little loose off turn 4, but keeps it straightened out at the line. The 78 clocks in 23.69. First lap good enough for 13th on the board. Lap 2 is a big improvement for the number 78. Meanwhile, we've got a hello in the stream chat. Cody McKnight saying hi. I don't know how long ago it was. I wasn't paying attention, but thanks for saying hello. Second lap for Charon, though, a 23.420, second row. Right now, your front row is Dustin Painter and Cody Harger, the 65 and the 66. So we've got these two working together again another night. They were up in the top 2 last night during the modified race, and really all 3 of those guys involved in the battle for the win there at some point or another. Qualifying is just about in the books, so we've got another truck just finishing up. No, David Wright is done. Mike LaJoie is done. Well, that is it for now. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with our starting grid for tonight's race here in Iowa. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere far. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Newton, Iowa for tonight's My Cricut Makes Truck series from Iowa Speedway. Qualifying is in the books. Here is our starting grid. On the pole, the number 24, Steve Requino. Dustin Painter to the outside in the second spot. Starting third, the number 66 of Cody Harger. Fourth will be Alfie Charon Jr., the number 78. Starting fifth, Mike LaJoy in the 29, Mike Taschereau in the 33. Joe Marks will start from the 7th position. Starting 8th will be Bill Voracek in the 9. Mark Thomas all the way from the UK. Number 50 Truck will start 9. Outside row 5, David Wright in the 42. Starting 11th, Pete Woodrum with 304 Motorsports. Derek Cook will start 12th. Starting 13th, Brian Torcha in the 2 with OG Racing. Dan Butler, the Racing School, will start 14th. 15th, Josh Battles. Dale Legan in the 05 will be 16th. James Kerr in the 75 will start 17th. Ben Choate, 18th. Shane Wagner, 19th. And Dan Murphy Jr. in the 41. Shotgun on the field in 20th position. Going to get right to it here. Lights are off atop the pace truck. We're going to go green this time. Get things underway here from Iowa Speedway. Maybe not. Called my bluff. We're going 2 laps on the formation here in Iowa. Thought I was running out of time. Turns out I had too much. It's okay. Got already some chatters here in the stream chat. That is very much appreciated. Again, Cody McKnight saying hello right off the bat. Cody on pole in the chat. Bobby Peters going to be driving for HBR TV in the, I think the ARCA series, and one of his guys in the trucks. I think I got that right. Or maybe I got it backwards. I'll have to go back and take a look. Don Harger, of course, watching. Cody Fogg, good luck, boys. Have a good race. And thanks for saying hello. While you're sitting here watching, make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe, share. Some more eyeballs on this thing. We only got 8 viewers on this side right now, so the more the merrier. All right, well, pace truck does peel off and hit the pit lane. We're going to go green right about now. Green's in the air. The 24 comes to life. Steve Requino in the gas to his outside, Dustin Painter. Good start by the 78 to the outside of the 66 of Harger. Harger slides up into turn 1. Rough start for the 66. Not sure what happened there. Just couldn't get the right front to bite. Meanwhile, Painter making a move to the outside of the 24 for the lead on lap number 1. Off of 4. Oh, the 24 slips up the track into the 65. We've got a caution. Big trouble here on the front straightaway. Bill Voracek involved. The 24, Requino. Painter. James Kerr, the 05. I don't know if the 05 really got involved or not. Maybe just kind of slowed up. Lucky for him. Brian Torch around, the 26 of Wagner around. Big trouble here on the front stretch coming to complete lap number 1. I don't even know where to go with this. The whole screen just turned red with how many cars just wrecked. I guess we can maybe try a blimp shot. We'll start with Steve Requino. This is through 3 and 4, it looks like. Oh, I thought Requino just slid up, but it was more like the 65 got loose off, started to turn down as the 24 was just exiting the corner. 78 of Sharon gets by, but smacks the wall. Looks like Cody Harger might have gotten through, but the 33, the 9. Big pile up here on the front straightaway. Requino, Woodrum, Painter. Let's see, David Wright, Voracek, Dan Butler, Dale Legan, James Kerr, Shane Wagner, if I didn't already mention. Multiple trucks involved here on this opening lap incident from Iowa Speedway. Tough break for many of these drivers. They do have one fast repair. I'm not sure Dustin Painter may have had his turned off because he would have been fixed and down the road by now. That's a lot of damage to sit on pit lane and get fixed. That might be the end to the 65's night. Not a good way to start round 2 of the playoffs. That's going to give Mike LaJoie, though, the lead here on lap 3, coming to 4. Mark Thomas, who I think started from the 9th spot, is all the way up now to the 2nd spot. Truck looks awfully clean. Might have gotten through that unscathed. If you haven't noticed, guys, I've got a new pit stop bar at the bottom of the screen. It's got the first 3 letters of each driver's last name. So you see there, Wagner, Requino, Painter, Voracek, all in the pit lane. It will time out after a certain number of seconds. I think it's 100 full seconds before it goes away. Maybe 2 minutes. I don't know. But keep an eye on it, especially if you run long enough to get green flag stops. You can kind of keep track of who peels off the racing surface, takes their green flag stops. If we end up getting them, we'll see. I said this place is kind of like a short track, but races like a speedway. Kind of got the same category as maybe PIR, Phoenix Raceway. Kind of like a short track, but it doesn't really race like it, or maybe it's not a short track, but it races like one. I don't know. Either way, big turn of events here to start tonight's race. Lights are off atop the iRacing Pace truck tonight. Going green. This time by, you see, LaJoie did get a piece of that action on that first lap. Possibly just scraped the wall trying to sneak by. He's going to stick it out, stay on the track, and inherit the lead. See what that number 29 Silverado has in store for the field the rest of the evening. Certainly not major damage on that machine, but we'll see what kind of lap times he can run and if he can hold off to 50 of Mark Thomas. These trucks in the pit lane. Let's try it again. LaJoie in the throttle. Gets a good restart here. Coming to green. 29 in the gas. Mark Thomas, not so much. Well, the 21 of Ben Choate works to his outside. Good restart for the 21 truck. Watch the battle here for the 2nd spot. The 21 to the outside. Ben Choate into turn number 3 around Mark Thomas. Mark battling back down low. '21 handily around the 50 of Mark Thomas. Now set sail for the 29 of Mike LaJoie, who's already about a 10 truck length advantage into 3 and 4. Maybe it's more like 6. But either way. Nice night here in Newton, Iowa. Very light breeze at 5 miles an hour, 65-degree air temperature, low humidity, partly cloudy with a 67-degree track temperature. Ideal racing conditions here tonight. We see the 50 and the 21 battling again for the 2nd spot. Mark Thomas was alongside of Ben Choate there for just a moment, wasn't able to complete the pass. Now he's got company as well in the form of Joe Marks in the number 4. The inside once again, Mark Thomas looking down low through turns 3 and 4. Still not enough to clear. The momentum is to the outside. Mark Thomas driving that truck for all it will give him, almost banging door to door off of turn 2. Tucks in behind the 21. The number 4 Joe Marks just waiting for an opportunity. Meanwhile, Dan Butler in the 8X. That Toyota Tundra looking now to the inside of the 4 truck himself, wanting that position. This is the battle for the 4th spot. Another good battle back here with the 05 of Dale Legan going around down low of Alfie Charon. Alfie on the high side, the 05 down low. It's the battle for the 7th position. Alfie's got it. Doesn't have the 05 clear as they work through turns 1 and 2. Also, Mike Taschereau watching it all unfold from his vantage point. Looking now to the inside of the 05. He's going to go for 2, maybe not. The 05 of Dale Legan battling back on the outside. Good battle here for position. 14 laps into the night's event. Leader is still Mike LaJoy. Ben Choate second. Joe Marks now moving up to the 3rd spot, battling with Mark Thomas. Mark with a high side advantage on the momentum. Down the back stretch he goes. Takes the position back, moved to 50 back into the 3rd, but no, not done fighting just yet. The 4 of Marks still wants to fight for that 3rd spot. Off 4 they come. At the line, it's still Mark Thomas. Great action all around the Speedway here, 15 laps in. We do have a caution, though. Not sure what happened here. Maybe Bill Voracek. No, Steve Requeno, Dale Legan involved. Smoke coming out of the 24 machine. He may be done for the evening. Truck sounding amiss, maybe a few cylinders down. Well, let's see what we can see here with that incident. There's the 24, Steve Requeno. Just ahead is the 33 and the 5. You see they make contact. '24 just tries to scoot by on the high side. The 05 just cuts it right in front of him. Unfortunately, nowhere for Steve Requeno to go. Collects the 05 of Dale Legan. The 33, Taschereau, moves on. Back up front, though, Ben Choate has inherited the lead. See Dustin Painter going by on the outside there. Maybe all those repairs have been affected. Cody Harger back in the pit lane, trying to effect some more repairs to that number 66 machine. Looks pretty stout right now. May have burned a fast repair at this point, not sure. But appears to also put on 4 fresh tires. 17 laps into this 100-lap event. Now he's only got 2 sets of tires left over pit wall. Have to budget his way to the finish on those Goodyear Racing Eagles. Ben Choate sniffing a draft off the iRacing pace truck, trying to save a little bit of fuel. Every little bit helps. Good to the last drop, they say. Maybe that's coffee. I don't know. All right, your top 5, 18 laps in. Ben Choate, Mark Thomas, Joe Marks, Dan Butler, Mike Taschereau, even though Mike was involved in that last caution. 33 up to P number 5. Lights are still on the pace truck at this point. Got at least a couple more laps around under yellow before we go back to green. Take a short break and we'll be back right after this. Back at Iowa Speedway, pace lights are off on the pace truck. Why is that so difficult to say? Going green this time by Ben Choate, Mark Thomas, Joe Marks, Dan Butler, Mike Taschereau, your top 5. Other notables, Cody Harger is in 8th, Alfie Sharon is in 12th, Mike LaJoy in the 13th position. Not sure what happened there with Mike, maybe a bad pit stop. Just stayed back there maybe to get some of those repairs done on that number 29. Pace cars in, green flag in the air. Ben Choate swatting flies inside that number 21 truck, but he's underway with the lead into turn number 1. Mark Thomas, Joe Marks, the top 3 there, somewhat getting away. Battle, though, is between Dan Butler and the 8 of Pete Woodrum. Also, Mike Taschereau trying to follow the number 8X machine on through. Seems that the momentum is carried on the high side between those two team trucks. Ooh, Cody Harger in the middle, a little bit of contact. Gets away with it, a close call for the 66, the 8, and again the 78. Harger, Woodrum, and Sharon almost involved in another big one off turn 4, but they get on by. Another battle back here, Michael LaJoy, Shane Wagner. Wagner is a lap down in the 26 machine. The 05 of Legan is a lead lap car. You've got the 11 of Josh Battles down low, making a move. Here's the 05. Back again with Alfie Sharon trying to fight for position with Mike Taschereau. On the outside, the 33 truck is Taschereau. Sharon trying to crowd the 33 up into the fence, just not giving him the room down low to have a good entry and exit to the corner. Does help him make the pass. Moves the 78 machine up to the 6th position. Now he's going to start working on Dan Butler, the number 18, or the 8X as you may see it. Cody Harger moving right along, though, up to the 4th spot, trying to work to the outside of the 4 of Joe Marks for the 3rd position. Side by side through the dog leg, they work into one. Cody gets a good run into turn number 1. Again, I think he did get new tires on that caution. Gives him the opportunity to work his way back up towards the front. Things tend to be a little safer near the front. Sacrifice a set of tires now to get the better track position for later. Get a long green flag run. Cody's good at saving tires. We'll have to see if it pays off. He's got the 3rd spot, but the 4 of Marks battling back in contact with the 66 off turn number 2. The 66 around and in the wall. Have to go back and see what happened there between Joe Marks and Cody Harger. Back it up here a bit. I'm going to call that a racing deal. Looks like the 66 may have been a little loose off the corner. Truck was rotating down while the 4 was starting to come up ever so slightly. They kind of met in the middle, but it seems though the 66 may have been just a tick below the lane he was running. Tough to say. Racing deal for sure. Once again, the 66 back on the pit lane with repairs to be made. Joe Marks as well. He's in the pit lane. Let's see if he's got any major damage. Nothing of any significance. Right sides go up on the 4. Just about everybody in this time. Ben Choate does not pit. I can only imagine maybe Ben is just trying to save those tires. The way we've been going here, we've been getting caution laps. I think the longest green flag we had was about 15 laps or so. So if that's the case, these guys are saving. Now he's peeling off the track into the pits now. So maybe he's going to take the opportunity for tires this time. Not sure if he just missed it the first time or what. Typically, if you don't hit pit lane your first time by, you get penalized if you pit the second time because it closes the pits for you. You can pit twice if you pit the first opportunity. Not sure if Ben just took a drive-through. See what everybody else was going to do. It's tough with these races in iRacing. You're your own crew chief. You're the driver. You got to make all the decisions. If you're not really 100% sure, I guess a drive-through on the first opening lap to see what everybody does. I guess it's an opportunity to kind of figure it out, but puts you to the back of the lead lap cars at least. It's going to put Mike LaJoie, though, back up front. While we're still under caution here, I want to go ahead and thank again My Cricut Makes. Contact Tabitha Brown at 618-340-0900 for custom-made signs and a lot more. My Cricut Makes, the primary sponsor of the My Cricut Makes Truck Series. And a Litchfield Specialty for being an associate sponsor of the My Cricut Makes Truck Series. D. Dixon & Sons Trucking Incorporated. And Sudath Taxidermy. As we go back to green here.
Green flag.
Mike LaJoie in the throttle. Green is out. We're back underway here. Lap 33 of 100. Just about 1/3 of the way into this tonight's event. Started with a bang. Lap 1, we had a wreck off of turn 4 that involved almost half the field, it looked like. But it seemed to affect repairs, burn the fast repairs if they had to. And here we see Mike LaJoie back out front, leading lap number 33. 34 goes on the board. Second is Mark Thomas. Woodrum third. Tashiro fourth. Butler fifth, as we do have another yellow flag. I think it was Ben Choate, unfortunately. The 21 truck may have crashed. He was leading here a moment ago. Let's see what happened. '21 truck of Ben Choate on the high side. It's off turn 4. Just gets loose, overcorrects, gets collected by James Kerr. Everybody else sneaks through. Let's watch that one in the slow motion here. And off turn 4. 21 truck to the high side. You can see the tail end of that truck just stepping out ever so slightly. He's got it saved, but then it grips. Hooks right in front of the 75 of Kerr, and it's just all she wrote. Nowhere for James Kerr to go. Yeah, Ligon and Voracek just kind of split the upright there. Tough break for Ben Choate. Was looking real strong early on. Beautiful facility here in Newton, Iowa. Iowa Speedway, 7/8 mile. It does really look like just a bigger Richmond Raceway. Just a straightforward, fast, short track on steroids. So we didn't get to finish up Sudath Taxidermy. So once again, big thank you to Sudath Taxidermy, competition quality at a commercial price. Contact award-winning taxidermist James Sudath at 636-544-7836. Lights are off. Top of the iRacing pace truck. We will be going back to green, this time by lap 39 will go up on the board. They may have waved off the yellow or the green flag here because we had no lights on the pace truck, but we still went around another time. I'm not sure if we're dealing with a glitch here or let's go extra laps here at Iowa, but better look from the roof cam of Mike LaJoie. The lights are definitely off. Let's see if we get a green flag this time. Pace car's in.
Green flag.
Good restart by Mike LaJoie. Watched the onboard, got right in the throttle right away. LaJoie to turn number one. Mark Thomas second, Mike Taschereau third, Woodrum fourth, Dan Butler is fifth. Off turn number two, down the backstretch they go. Pretty evenly spaced, about 4 car lengths back to Mark Thomas. Mark Thomas gaining some ground on the 29 of LaJoie. Deficit's about 0.2 of a second in closing. So is Mike Taschereau in the 33. He is also catching these two. Truck length and a half. Mark Thomas down in the low lane. Mark Thomas looking awful quick here in the middle stages of tonight's race. Mike LaJoie does have the lead, but a truck length between the two of them. Relatively stable distance. It extends into the corner a little bit, but the 50 backs up the entry. A little bit better drive off. You see, he does kind of catch him here on the front stretch. Mark Thomas with 3 wins on the season so far. Watch from on board the 33 of Mike Taschereau. Leaders battling it out through turn number 2, down the backstretch again. Mark Thomas now taking a look to the inside of the 29 Mike LaJoie. So many different lines one can take around this Iowa Speedway. Makes for an exciting race. We do have a battle going on for the lead. Mark Thomas has gone around Mike LaJoie off turn number 2. Once again, new leader Mark Thomas in the 50. Who's that Bad Obsession Toyota Tundra 2P number 1. LaJoie still showing some wear on the right side of that Chevy Silverado. He's got Taschereau now to the inside, now battling for the second position. Taschereau still down low, can't clear the 29 of LaJoie off turn number 2. Looks like he's going to have it though. Down the backstretch, give the position to the 33 of Mike Taschereau to set sail, trying to track down the Brit Mark Thomas. Top 5 all relatively spread out. We do see Mike LaJoie, though, falling into the clutches now of Dan Butler. Problems maybe on the 29 truck. Might just be a matter of tires. It does not appear that LaJoie took a set of tires on that last stop. But just about everybody else with the opportunity in the top 6 did. So far, LaJoie holding back Dan Butler, but Dan's got to run off turn number 2. Might put that truck side by side, not quite, maybe the left rear, but into turn number 3, he's got him. Not enough to clear, though. LaJoie's got the momentum on the outside line. Back to start finish. LaJoie has the spot, clears the 33 of Butler. I'm sorry, the 18 of Butler. Laps past halfway here at Iowa Speedway, and Butler working solidly on the tailgate of Mike LaJoie. Wants that 3rd position. LaJoie on older tires, not willing to give it up. Great battle for the 3rd spot here. 55 laps in, 45 to go. Butler is quicker, but he's got help coming in the form of Pete Woodrum. Pete, the 8 machine. All this battling between LaJoie and the 18. Woodrum has been able to catch these two. Down low to the inside once again, Butler. Not enough to get by Mike LaJoie. Car in the wall off turn number 4. Didn't catch who it was. Maybe it was a 24, 75, a James Kerr possibly. I think it was a 75. That's no harm, no foul. One car incident off of corner number 4. We'll stay with him one more lap here, see if he's got a problem. All good. Back up with the leaders. Third spot, Mike LaJoie still able to hold back the advance from the 18 of Dan Butler. Meanwhile, Butler under attack. Pete Woodrum wants the spot. Move Pete Woodrum up to the 4th spot. Guess as Butler got the tires a little bit too hot, trying to get around the 29 of LaJoie. Butler was quicker, but not quite fast enough to get around the 29. If Pete Woodrum can do anything with Mike LaJoie himself. I think Pete did take a set of 4 tires on his last stop. LaJoie just blinking out there for a moment. Maybe a little connection issue for that guy. "39 laps to go here from Iowa Speedway. Mark Thomas still leads. Mark started in the 9th position here this evening. Made up a bunch of spots, moved him right up into the 2nd position on the 1st lap due to a wreck that he was able to avoid. Any top runners were not so lucky. LaJoie's having some connection issues. He keeps dropping out. That in itself can make it difficult to pass. Might be alongside the guy and he disappears, and now all of a sudden you're inside his truck. Meanwhile, behind that, a battle with Dustin Painter and Joe Marks. Painter managed to get his lap back after these cautions had come out. Wave arounds and lucky dogs. 65 still on the lead lap, running in the 6th position, putting some pressure on the 4 of Joe Marks. Whew. Ford truck driving it in deep through 3 and 4. Really thought he was going to make contact with the wall off that corner number 4 exit. Painter and Marks both catching the 8 of Woodrum now. Woodrum down low, the 4 up in the high lane extreme, the 65 kind of in the middle. Woodrum's going to let him go. Good racecraft really out of the number 8. You know these guys are a lot quicker at that moment in time. No sense in burning up your own stuff trying to hold them off. Let them go. Sometimes they come back to you, sometimes they don't. Up front, Mark Thomas has built up a pretty decent lead here. It's up to almost 3 seconds. We'll go through the field while we got the opportunity. Again, your leader, Mark Thomas, the old school racer, the number 50 Bad Obsession Motorsports Toyota Tundra, started 9th, running in the 1st position. Mike Taschereau, the number 33. Mike started 6th, running in the 2nd position. Mike LaJoy, top 5 starting position for the 29, led some laps for quite a while. Getting passed now by Joe Marks. Joe Marks, the number 4, the Wounded Warrior project on the hood. That's always good to see. Goes up 4 spots now in the 3rd position.
Should be a caution.
And while we talk about that, we are under yellow. It looks like I was just talking about Mike LaJoy. Mike LaJoy is in the fence. See what happened with good old Mikey. Said LaJoy was getting past. Ooh, slides right into the 65 of Dustin Painter. I want to see that one again. We slow it down a bit. Yeah, kind of a racing deal. I think LaJoy probably could have not gone in so deep, and at the same token, I think Painter could have looked down to that low lane and not taken it with the run the 29 had in on entry. Going to be some frustrated drivers on that incident is looked at later on, but tough break for the 29 and the 65. Back up front here, Mark Thomas again hits pit lane, 29 laps to go. Final service of the afternoon. Unless we get a caution, these guys may still have some tires left over that wall. Mark Thomas down and away, 4 tires, fuel. Appears he's going to rejoin as the leader. Take a short break. We'll be back for the restart after this. Welcome back to Iowa Speedway. Lights are off atop the Pace Truck field, forming up 2x2. Swear we're going to go green this time by. Fingers still crossed. Pace Truck is in. Green flag in the air. Mark Thomas in the throttle, nice and early. Mike Taschereau, Joe Marks, Pete Woodrum, Brian Torch up to the 5th spot. Good advantage for the 50 off turn number 4. .25 laps to go here from Newton, Iowa. Mark Thomas still leads. Joe Marks, Taschereau, Woodrum, Torcha, your top 5. Right now, Mark Thomas on a rail, putting some distance on second place. Joe Marks already almost a full second advantage since the restart. Big gap back to second spot, already a second and a half since the restart. 20 laps to go for Mark Thomas. He's going to want this to go green the rest of the way. It's bolted on those last set of tires. Plenty of fuel to make it to the end. Big gap back to second, third, and fourth. Dan Butler making a positional pass here around Dustin Painter. Painter on the outside, the 65. The 18 is clear. 38 of Derek Cook now to the inside. This is for position. Down the backstretch they go. The 38 of Cook down low. Painter up high. This is for the 8th position. On board with Derek Cook. Still trying to catch and pass the 65 of Dustin Painter. Painter is a little bit quicker, though, last couple of laps. Back up front, Joe Marks still retains the second position. Mike Taschereau third. Pete Wurgem fourth. Ryan Torcha fifth. Relatively unchanged up here at the front of the field. 15 laps to go. 14 laps to go. Mark Thomas just checking out on the field. Where was the speed early on? It's like all of a sudden. I mean, Mark looked quick early on. Maybe just saving his stuff till the end. But, man, the 50 truck is on a rail this afternoon, this evening. 12 laps to go at the line. Almost 2.25 seconds to second place, Joe Marks. Mark Thomas on a Sunday drive here. James Kerr, Dan Butler, and Brian Torchin battling here. Brian, the number 2 at the 5th position. James Kerr, 6th. Butler is 7th in that 8X Green 877 can race, the RacingSchool.net machine. James Kerr looking to the inside of the 2 of Brian Torcha off turn number 2. Brian's got the run. Battle back, keep the position into turn number 3. 10 laps to go. .75 occurred, drives it in deep once again. Brian Torch just going to have the drive off in turn number 2. Going to put the distance back on the 75. Don't get too excited, Mark Thomas. The gap is shrinking down to 1.4 seconds back to the number 4 truck of Joe Marks. Don't know if he's going to have enough time. Mark Thomas just over 2.5 tenths off the pace of second place Joe Marks. Keeps running laps like this. Marks may catch the 50 truck with just a lap or 2 to go. Deficit down to 1.4 seconds. Back and forth go the 50 and the 4. We've got 5 now to be 4 laps to go. Deficit 1.3. Joe Marks is going to have to step it up if he's going to catch the 50. He gained a lot of time in a short amount of time early on. Deficit is shrinking, but not fast enough. 3.5 laps to go as Mark Thomas works off a turn number 2. 3 to go, no change in the deficit from first to second. It's a 1.3 second advantage for the 50 Trucl Mark Thomas. Joe Marks in the 4, runs second, is gaining on the 50, but time is running out. 2.5 laps to go for Mark Thomas. He can bring that checkered flag home. Caution right now would really upset the driver of the 50. That Obsession Motorsports Toyota Tundra. We've got 2 laps to go. Marks is coming, but is it going to be enough? It's a 1 second deficit back to second place. Down the back stretch one more time, a lap and a half to go. Mark Thomas into turn number 3, working through turn number 4. Joe Marks in behind in the 4. It's still a 1 second advantage. He's going to have to hurry, or the 50's going to need to make a big mistake. Last lap for the 50 of Mark Thomas, and he can bring home win number 4 in his first of the playoffs. Down the back stretch for the final time for Mark Thomas. It's not going to be enough. He's just got to get through 3 and 4 cleanly, and this one will be his. From Iowa Speedway, Mark Thomas off turn number 4. The Brit takes the checkered flag once again. Win number 4 on the season, second of the playoffs. Mark Thomas to victory lane. Joe Marks was second. Mike Taschereau third. Pete Woodrum was 4th, and Brian Torcha brings the number 2 truck home in the 5th position. Maybe fireworks for the 50, but no burnouts for the 50. Mark Thomas sitting there happily and getting drilled at the finish. With that, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with our top 3 interviews. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Iowa Speedway. The My Cricut Makes Truck series is in the books here. Mark Thomas is your winner. We will go to him in just a moment. In fact, let's bring Mark into the broadcast booth. Right now, Mark Thomas, it's Steve Singer in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Steve, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well, sir. Congratulations. I believe this makes it 4 wins on the season, your first of the playoffs. That truck, all of a sudden, the last 25 laps, right after that pit stop, was on rails. Tell us about your race and tell us what changed.
I think I was just trying to keep clean. I desperately trying to keep it clean because there was a lot of trouble going on in front and behind. So for the first half, I was just trying to stay in line, and then for the last half, I think because I had the steering ratio turned right up, I think the tyres just sort of stayed for a little longer, but I was pushing towards the end. I was low on fuel. I mean, I was out in the back with a thimble shoving it down the carbs.
Yeah, we saw later on you had about a 2.25 second advantage with I think it was about 10-15 laps to go. And then all of a sudden, Joe Marks really cut into that deficit, cut a half second and maybe a lap or two. I didn't see if maybe it got tight, got it up into the wall or what happened, but we thought he was going to catch you. He was running some quick laps. He was a couple of tenths a lap faster, and then all of a sudden you'd turn a good lap and you'd get it back. Did you think he was going to catch you?
I did. I honestly did, because I was so low on fuel. I was saving, I was clutching, I was doing everything I could. And then right at the end, about 3 or 4 laps to go, I'd managed to save enough so that I could actually drive my line. And then I could just do enough to hold him off. But he was chasing me down quick.
So I noticed there was no burnout. Did it run out of fuel?
Yep. Yeah. On the warm down lap, it ran out of fuel.
You know, you never want to bring too much fuel back, especially when you're trying to save. So well done, sir. Congratulations on the victory. Mark, before we let you go, man, is there anybody you need to thank?
I'd like to thank the league for just putting on such great racing. Yourself for doing such a great job as a broadcast. Bad Obsession Motorsport for letting me run the truck. Simplicity for the direct drive wheel. Just everybody who's watching. Hello to the missus if she's watching. Just everybody, because that was a great race. Tough, but great race.
Certainly entertaining from our perspective, Mark. Thanks for the pat on the back there. We certainly appreciate it here at HBR TV. Congratulations once again, and look forward to seeing you next week in Michigan. That's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I hope so. I just please let me have more fuel this time.
All right, Mark. Well, thanks again, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, Steve. Take care, buddy.
It's Mark Thomas, your winner here tonight. Looks like he's going to be our only interview. A couple of the other guys, Joe Marks, Mike Taschereau, unable to make it into the broadcast booth for one reason or another. That's okay. We'll catch up with them another time for sure. Those guys are usually pretty good about saying hey. So with that, we'll go over our finishing results here. Of course, from Iowa Speedway, the My Cricut Makes Truck Series, Mark Thomas puts the number 50 Obsession Motorsports machine in victory lane. 4th win on the season, 1st of the playoffs. That is certainly a good way to ensure you keep moving on into the next round. Joe Marks was 2nd in the number 4 truck. Mike Taschereau, 3rd place. Pete Woodrum was 8th. Brian Torcha, once again, a top 5 finish for that machine. Starts near the back, moves up 8 positions, and brings that thing home in the 5th spot. Nicely done. 6th place was James Kerr, another guy that started near the back. He's up 11 spots, finishes 6th. A great run by James Kerr in that number 75. Dustin Painter, after all the adversity that he had, Dan Butler tonight, a good run by the 18, up 7 positions, finishes in the 7th spot. And again, Dustin Painter, as I was just jumping into there, finishes in the 8th spot, down 6 spots from where he started. An unfortunate, a really tough night for Dustin Painter, but pretty decent to still come along and finish 8th position. 9th was Derek Cook, 10th Dale Legan. Mike LaJoy looked real strong early on, led some laps, ends up involved in a late incident. LaJoy finishes in the 11th position. Bill Voracek was 12th. Steve Requino, same thing, started on the pole, was fast, but real early on involved in an incident, unable to recover, finishes 17 laps down in the 13th spot. Ben Choate, another one of our leaders. Some unfortunate happenings with him off turn 4, I believe it was. 32 laps down, 14th. Alfie Charon was in the 15th position. Alfie, again, another front runner, looked good for a little bit early on. Finishes 41 laps down in the 15th spot. Josh Battles was 16th. Cody Harger, tough night for Cody. Fresh off a win in the modified series last night. Brings it here, puts it on the front row, and unfortunately just some bad luck. 72 laps down for the 66 machine of Cody Harger. Shane Wagner, the number 26 machine, 18th. 19th was David Wright. I believe he was the last car in the field. Dan Murphy Jr. showed as a entry but did not make a lap. So that is your finishing order for tonight from Iowa Speedway. Again, we want to thank the sponsors, of course. My Cricut makes custom-made signs and a lot more. Contact Tabitha Brown, 618-340-0900. Give her a call or send her a text. See if she can get you taken care of. LSI Litchfield Specialty. D. Dixon & Sons Trucking Incorporated. And Sudath Taxidermy, competition quality at a commercial price. Contact award-winning taxidermist James Sudath at 636-544-7836. Well, I got to say, that was a great race to watch. There was some action early on. We had a hell of a pile-up at the first lap at the outset there. A lot of guys made some pretty decent recoveries from that point on, and we ended up having a pretty darn good race. Some cautions in between, but Mark Thomas just saving it till the end when it counted, when it mattered. Like I mentioned at the broadcast early on, saving his stuff to the finish. Mark Thomas looking stout tonight. Puts the 50 in victory lane. So a great race overall. Saw many different leaders, good battles all throughout the field. Can't complain by any stretch of the imagination. Next week, tune in for Michigan. I think it's the 6th, if I'm not mistaken on the date. But again, next Thursday, 7:45, tune in to HBR TV. It's facebook.com/HollerBoysRacingTV or HollerBoysRacingTV at YouTube. We simulcast to both platforms, the Facebook side, the YouTube side. If you haven't already, also please like, share, subscribe, follow, smash all the buttons that you got to smash. I don't really know the lingo all that well, but you get the idea. I really appreciate your guys' support, you guys watching. Tell your friends, get more people involved. The more, the merrier. And again, you guys got a little better tonight, but hit me up in the stream chat more often. I am more than happy to talk to you guys, especially under cautions. Cheer on your favorite driver. You know, if you haven't seen somebody that's supposed to be in the race and I'm not covering them enough, hey, what's going on with Ben Choate or Dan Butler or whoever? You know, chime in. I'm open to that. This is for you guys, and we aim to please. So with that, again, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, everybody.